same song a bunch of times in a row.
Hello and welcome to the very first Plastic Soundwave Cult. I'm Reverend Grooves, and we like to keep things informal around here, so you can just call me Eric. So, Plastic Soundwave Cult is basically going to be a channel about vinyl, CDs, and sometimes cassettes. It's basically all about physical media. But we're not here for me. We're here for Dylan at Noble Records. It is his 750 subscription contest, my vinyl biography. He has a series of questions that he asks, and let me make sure I get those right. What is the first memory with vinyl? What is the first record you fell in love with? What record has great significance to you? What album did you spend the most on? And what is your ultimate grail? And I understand that actually now there's a sixth bonus question, which is why vinyl? And so basically what made me want to start making some videos is this contest, because I had promised my wife that I would not buy any more records until after Christmas. And I said that at like mid-September. And that's just to save money, you know, for Christmas, so we can get people Christmas gifts. But I think this contest gives me an open loop where I can still get records, hopefully, if I win. But at the same time, I'm not buying them, so I'm still saving money. But then God help us, after Christmas, I'm gonna go crazy buying records. So, without further ado, let's get in there and start answering some of these questions. So, just to preface this, my stories are not nearly as cool as some of the other stories I've already seen in some of these videos for the contest, so be warned. When I was a kid, my folks had one of those big cabinet, all-in-one stereos where it was literally a piece of furniture, the stereo speakers and the turntable and the radio and everything was all in one big cabinet. And I used to play the 7-inch on there, on Buddha Records. And the song was Yummy, 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 I've Got Love in My Tummy by Ohio Express. I have no idea where they're from. But I used to sit and listen to that over and over and over. I probably drove my parents nuts listening to that over and over, and I used to sing along with it. And that's basically my very first memories of vinyl, or music in general. I think that's the first song I really started to learn that wasn't, you know, Mary Had a Little Lamb or something like that. Now, I have put all of these songs, or maybe even sometimes some of the albums or sections of these albums, in the description. So if you're not familiar with these songs, there's a YouTube video usually on them, so I got them down in the description. So the first record that I fell in love with would have to be the first record that I ever bought with my own money. And that would be Queen the Game. Now, this obviously is not the album that I bought. The album I bought was all chromed out more. This is actually a replica CD of what the album cover would look like. It comes in a Queen box set. But that was the album that I got. And I played the shit out of this thing. I love that. Dragon Attack is still one of my favorite songs. Again, I played this at home. It was before I had my own stereo. So it was before I had my own stereo. my folks got rid of the cabinet one and had more of a, it was still an all-in-one, but it was a really nice Sony turntable receiver combination. And I think this album just kicked me off where I ended up just going crazy for music. And after that, I bought music on a regular basis for the next 10, 15 years. Unfortunately, I had about 200 records that were stolen way back in the late 80s, early 90s. I went for a summer job. I put all of my records into storage, and I was able to take my CDs and tapes because you can listen to those forms of music and it's small. You can pack it up and do that, but you can't take a turntable with you. So I left all my stereo and records and a few other things in storage, and unfortunately only my records got stolen. That was the only thing whoever it was that got in there took. So 200 records gone, and that's when I didn't buy another record for a long time. But this was the one that kicked off liking music, liking variety of music, because getting into Queen, it turned out that that made it so that I liked the wide range of music. I think it was about 10 when I got this record. And I did chores and stuff like that, so I earned the money. It wasn't like it was given to me and then I went out and bought it. I earned the money, and this was one of the first things I bought with money that I earned. So that's why this album is still special to me. Not this one, but you know, big one. What record is significant for me? Well, it's one from when I was a little kid again. It's probably one of the only ones I have from that time. And it's this one. And it's got quite a few people on it. Frijid Pink, Lulu, Them, Bravo. It's a rough play, but it still sounds good when you play it on the record player. The special thing about this one is, well, first, it doesn't have anything on it at all. It's a 2-disc. First, it's got House of the Rising Sun by Frijid Pink. It's their version of it. And now, even though this says side 3, this is side 4. And this says side 4, and it is side 4. So it has 2 side 4s on this disc. So if I play side 3, it plays the side 4 tracks. But if I play the side 4 side, it plays side 4 tracks. So I have never heard this third side. So it's kind of my weirdest one. It's a misprint. I do listen to it. I'll listen to both of those sides. Maybe not in a row. Maybe I'll play one side first, play the other record, and then play that other side later. But yeah, that right there is my oldest record that I have, and that's kind of why it has significance. It makes me think of when I was a kid. So the most expensive album that I bought. Well, I've seen a few of the other entry videos, and as far as I know, I'm probably spending the least here. Mine is $40, and it's Dopethrone by Electric Wizard. Funny story about this album. I was gonna get this first from Electric Wizard. I wanted to try to make this my first album I got from them. They're a fairly new band that I got into. Well, they've been around a while, but I just learned about them recently. So I was gonna get this, but I decided to save a little money because we were going on vacation. We go on vacation. We get back, order the record, boom, it's not on Amazon anymore. It was like $27. I ended up getting Black Wizard's first album, and then about a month later I got their second album, waiting for this album to show up on Amazon. And then I finally went on Discogs and I put it in my Discogs wish list. Even though the cheapest one I could find on there at the time was about $65, $70. And then one day it showed up on there for $40. And boom, I was on it. It sounded like it was in good condition. I bought it. The guy was great to work with. It came in. I actually got the version that I wanted, which is this. And you gotta love this. All of these Rise Above albums come in black, poly-lined inner sleeves. And so yeah, it comes on really nice purple vinyl. But it cost me $40, but that was a steal because it did come back up on Amazon, and now it's like $65 on Amazon. So I got that, and this is not an old repress. I think this is a 2017 repress. And the records are beautiful. This sounds awesome. I love the inside of it. And I'm sorry, but that's just a badass cover. That just says Nothing But Dark. But yeah, I like that. Just like the album cover looks, that's nothing but dark in that album. But it sounds awesome. Worth every penny. So question number 5. What is my ultimate grail? Well, you can put that in 2 categories. One is like that one you probably won't ever get. And I would say for me, that is the Queen box set that came out in 2016. It's all multi-colored records. All the records match the album covers, and that looks like it'd be really neat to have. And it's all of their records, I think, minus Live Killers. But that's a far-fetched one. The one that I have been trying to get, but seems like when I go to buy it, it ends up being like out of stock or just got sold or this or that, even when I try on Discogs. So I kind of gave up on it, but I'm going to try again here after Christmas to see if I can get it again. But Hot Tracks by Nazareth. That's a great best of album. Awesome 70s rock. Yeah, you just can't go wrong with that. But for some reason, that album has been eluding me. And it seems like it should be easy to get. But I tried like 3 or 4 times to go to certain places. And, and it sounded like it was in decent condition. It was a decent price. So it's all of these factors that make it so I don't get it. But it should be one that should be pretty easy to get. But it just seems to elude me. So that's kind of been my little holy grail to get is that one. Not too many others. My other one that was hard to get was the Dopethrone one. But I got it. So now it's been Hot Tracks. And yeah, we'll just have to see how that goes. So I see that there's a bonus question, and it's basically why vinyl? Why do you like vinyl? For me, it's so many different reasons why I got back into it. It does take me back to when I was younger. There's the nostalgia part of it. They do things with records now that they never did when I was a kid. So it's something old, but then there's something new along with it. I mean, You have to take these things, you have to take them out a certain way. You have to take care of them. You have to clean them. You have to clean them when you first get them. You have to clean them before you play them. There's rituals involved. It just, it's something you have to take care of. And it just seems like something that we don't have that much of these days. Don't get me wrong, I use digital. And one of the videos I want to do is show how I get my vinyl onto my computer and onto my phone. Because I love to listen to my records and recordings of my records in my car. And so it's all of those weird, quirky things that some of us like about physical media. So it's for a lot of goofy reasons, but I enjoy doing it again. It's fun to go back into record stores and find stuff. I've gone on vacation and gone into antique stores and bought records that way, and they were for a pretty decent price, and they cleaned up really well, and yeah, it's a nice adult hobby. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out. Congratulations again to Dylan, Noble Records. 750 subs. While I'm working on this video, you've already gone way past that, so congratulations on all of that stuff. Great success. I've been watching your channel for maybe a month and a half, 2 months, somewhere in there. And it just happened to be, I saw this contest came up in my subscriptions, and boom, I figured I'd give it a go. And I haven't made a video in a long time, and hopefully I kept it fairly short and not too boring. So thanks again, and if it's too loud, you're too old. Bye.